Hello, everybody out there in the internet. This is the Tekken Master on YouTube, chatting with Tekken, June 2011. What I've been playing and the videos I've been making. Let's do this. So yeah, what I've been playing, as from the videos I just put up. DJ Hero 2, still just I love that game. I just luckily, like on Gamma Sutra, there's a story about Activision picking back up whatever's left of freestyle games. So it didn't say that they were going to like make another DJ Hero game. It's basically just like a new I think franchise or something. So hopefully it uses the old controller, 'cause seriously I don't want to drop money on another controller after I bought like 2 of these for DJ Hero and have like this one be completely obsolete for like the end of time and like no other game support it. But we'll see. Hopefully it's not the case. Who knows? Maybe they'll show something E3. Who knows? Maybe not. Probably not. Cause it was just announced. So I'm sure that probably won't happen. And then one real quick. Yeah, I'll probably like interrupt myself many times as I talk, because I always do that. But whatever. Extemporaneous style, 'cause that's just how I roll. As you can see, this webcam is like way better there. Like I said in the last video, I was like gonna upgrade. So here we are. I'm using Windows Live Movie Maker and not the like built-in software, so it's not in HD or whatever. Who cares? It's better quality. That's all that matters. It's like, yeah, it could be in HD, but that like built-in mic on this is like crappy, and I can't figure out how to like override it to just pick up the Turtle Beach like crystal clear clarity if you can hear like just no background. But if I use like the built-in, it would just be like there's like this ridiculous like background like humming, and I'm like, what is going on here? But whatever. I could look into it. Who knows? It could just be something that's like I could easily fix. I'll see in the next video, whatever. So yeah, besides DJ Hero 2, I've also been playing Brink. This game, I was like super excited. I was like, man, this game is going to like change the way multiplayer games are played and do all these neat things and stuff. I was on the hype train for this game like last year E3 when like they showed it, and they're like all the customization, all the different classes. It's gonna be like single player and multiplayer at the same time. I was like, what? How's it gonna work? Finally came out, and like, yeah, okay. This game has issues, but for the most part, I like it and I enjoy it. I put up a impressions of it on aimlesspodcast.com. You can check out. Basically, the like issues it has are AI is terrible. If it like the bots, this is like the weird thing. 'Cause, like if the bots are on your team, they always like suck. But if you're fighting against the bots, they always like are somehow better against you, which is weird. And then like the single player campaign story is terrible. So they're like so close to like accomplishing that, of like bringing the single player and multiplayer, because you can play online like with your like friends against bots and just like play like multiplayer setups against them throughout a whole campaign like storyline. And like that, the way that's done is like really cool and interesting, but the story is terrible and doesn't really give you any like like you have like no feeling of I want to play the story, because it's so immersive and engrossing, and I just can't get more of it. It's just so really bad, because like you have the security forces, and then you have the resistance, and like there's basically one underlying storyline, and like you can play it from both sides and then see how it changes. And they do some cool things, like your character is like always in the cutscenes, like at the beginning and the end of like each stage, but they never say anything, so they feel like more of a stand-in than they were built to like be the main character of the story. So it's kind of like taking a back seat, so it's like doesn't really matter. And then like the classes I haven't played a lot of Team Fortress 2, and a lot of people say it's like Team Fortress 2 but not, so I need to play the game so I can compare it. But I really enjoyed the class system, because it felt like I was always changing to something else. Since you can do that when you're playing, you can always like change to another class, like soldier, medic, engineer, operative. I think that's all 4. And then they always have like some objective to do. Some are class specific, so you like need people of that specific class to do them. And it can get really hectic if you're playing like on a harder difficulty, or against other human players, because it's like you have to like keep alive the primary classes that need to like complete the objectives, or like just protect them, or like keep them alive. And it gets like really hectic to just like not have a like balanced team and not have like too many medics, even though you'd think like a bunch of medics to keep people alive would work. But yeah, it kind of reminded me of like when I played the Mag Beta, because I haven't played like the full version, but it reminded me of like a lot about that, and like how to have like a good balance of like offense and defense and like all different classes, and not just be too weighted down in like one specific area of that. yeah, I enjoyed Brink. I thought it was fun. Like, I would say, unless you're like a fan of the genre or you just really love first person shooters, you just wait for a price drop because it's definitely. I'd also say, even though I really liked it, it's not a $60 game that I'd like be like, yeah, it's totally worth the money because it's not. And like, luckily there's gonna be some free DLC and some patch balancing issues for like the latency because it's really weird. Like when I got this on day one, I was playing it. Like there's like really no like lag or connectivity issues. But as time went on and like I played it more and more, it's like every match I would get in would be like lag, 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 and I was like, what's going on here? So I haven't really played it since I completed both of the campaigns. I was trying to make a yeah, that's what also happened. I was going to make a like a video about it and like a talk through of like the like cool features of it and like why it's so special and like what it does good and what it doesn't good and like it comes so close in like every area and like everything that it tries to do is like it's so close of like being like super innovative like compared to everything else and like just really like it still is a fresh breath of air to me just because I really liked what it did and like tried to do even though if it kind of didn't succeed on all all fronts, but it came like so close where it's like it's so close. Like if they make a sequel, I'm sure like with the DLC, hopefully they can just like overcome the obstacles that they've run into with like it's so close to being like a spectacular experience. I'd like recommend to anybody. It's like so close. It's kind of like yeah, cause like I love co-op games, so it's like I can like feel the co-opness of it when I play. It's like it's very much like a Borderlands or a Left 4 Dead, and like I can feel that like camaraderie with my like squad mates and my friends if I'm playing with them. But it just like falls apart because there's like choke points when you're doing objectives because like most of the objectives are basically go here, blow this up, or go here and defend this. So it's basically the objectives. It's like yeah, the like objectives are very varied, but they're varied to a point where it's basically the same thing of defend, destroy, or escort something. And it's yeah. When you play the campaign, you'll know what I was saying. But it's so close, so close, so close. I liked it overall. Then Portal 2, I'm still playing that because I haven't finished it. Well, I'm not really playing it. I kind of put it to the side because I don't know. I didn't like what they started to do towards the end when it's like fine or you basically can't. Like okay, so Portal 1 when after you get through the test chambers and like the escape section of the game, I really like that part because it's just very different from like the first part of the game. Whereas in this one, it got very frustrating to me because it gets to the point where it's like okay, you have to pay a lot of attention to where you can portal to and zoom in to see if you can portal to this and portal from here and like I don't know. I think it just like I'm not like puzzle games in general I'm not a fan of and I don't really like them, so it's like I just at that point I just started like not liking it because it's like it's not my cup of tea. But I do like the game for what it is and like how it tries to be different and be like first person puzzling and like no combat, but you just solve puzzles with a gun, which is pretty clever and fun and interesting and different. So yeah, prefer the first one, but I'll try to finish the second one so I can have like a complete opinion of like why it is I don't like it and stuff. Then Noire, this game, I was really looking forward to this game, and then just like Brink, it like didn't exceed my expectations, and like it somewhat met them, but it like for the most part it like I'm happy with it, but there's like parts where it's just yeah, it has issues. Like overall I'd say it's good though, because the whole facial like recognition and like can you tell if they're lying? I cannot tell if they're lying. So that right there is just one thing of like it's like I'm just like questioning the suspects and I'm like looking at them and I'm like, are they lying? Yes, no, It's like I don't know. I guess I'm just not good at reading people. I shouldn't play poker. I don't play poker, so yeah. I'm just like I don't know. But that was the cool thing though, because like after I just like threw that out the window like after playing it for like a few hours, and then I just like started going on it. I just started like playing it like it was like a straight up detective game of like using my intuition and like thinking of like the motives and like just cause or what's that word? I forget it. Or like if there's credible evidence of like of that person perpetrating the crime, I'd be like, okay, this is the person that did it. But if there wasn't, I'd be like, okay, they're not the person that did it, and just like that's like how I would like start questioning them, and it made it like interesting in its own different way, as opposed to just being like, can I tell if they're lying from looking at them? So like it still plays like a detective game of you're trying to solve the like every crime with like the clues you have, which I thought was cool too. The whole looking for like canvassing the crime areas, I thought that was really cool. I guess it's not doing as good as in like Heavy Rain, but it's like close enough to like where it's it feels like I'm actually, and like I have like enough control over my character too, so it's not the clunkiness of the tank style that was in Heavy Rain to like build the suspense and stuff and tension. Whereas in this one, it has like the musical cues and yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure if I like the musical cues as much, but I don't know, I did enjoy it. So yeah, not as good as I'd say it's definitely not as good as Red Dead, and I'm interested to see if Team Bondi can like fix all the like stuff that's wrong in this one because there's like just a few like for the most part everything is cool because they even like streamlined all the like the movement through the environments. Like when you're running after somebody like over a rooftop, where in like GTA 4 you'd have to like jump manually and push like X. This one it like auto jumps like Assassin's Creed, so it's like streamlined that. Like when you're running up staircases too, because that would drive me insane. And GTA like that early on you do that and like you just hold down run and it like automatically runs up staircases. So they kind of fixed that pretty much. Well, I guess they fixed it, but it's weird how like they had to like take elements from like a game I'd already played, like Assassin's Creed, and just like it's kind of like auto running now. Kind of makes me wish that like in the car chases you could just like hold down the button to like drive from point A to point B, and like because there's parts where you're driving and you'll be talking to your partner, but you kind of like have to like focus on driving at the same time. So I wish I could just hold down the drive button and like they'd have the conversation and like get to like know your partner and stuff. Because there's a lot of cool parts with like your partner in Homicide's really cool. Cause like he like always like brings up like, okay, all these crimes are domestic abuse. It's always the husband. He's always like, he's always the one that does it. So that's like a pretty cool thing over the whole Homicide story arc of Val. He's like, it's always a husband. It's always a crime of passion. He's always the guilty. That's very funny, interesting. And like but it's kind of weird. Like the whole partner mechanic doesn't really feel as like as good as it could be because like for the most part they are kind of useless. They're basically just like stand-ins for when you go to like the random crimes and like there's like 211 blah 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 car whatever you're in, and like you go there and then he's like, okay cool, I'll watch this side, you go. It's like, yeah, it seems like I really hate when games do this. It's like you'll have like someone helping you or a partner or like a talking head character and they'll be like, go here, do this, and like all they're doing is like telling you what to do the whole game. So it's like, yeah, I'm the one doing all the work because apparently that's all I ever do. It's like, yeah, that's like I felt the whole time in Dead Space. Like all I was doing was being told, yeah, go check out all this creepy stuff that's going on. I'll sit back here in the security room where it's all safe and sound and cozy. Ha ha ha. Suck it, Isaac. And then this one is kind of like the two. Where it's like, yeah, I'm your partner, but I'm just gonna sit here and be like, all right, I'll watch this really safe area. You could do all the dirty work. And like when you're in like a firefight, you're like, okay, it actually is cool because like in the firefights they do actually have like AI that like helps you and like they shoot too. So I guess it's not just you doing all the work in the firefights, but still, it would have been nice to like have more besides you just asking them like, okay, what do I do now? I'm kind of out of ideas. Did you ask this suspect? Oh, or go do this or blah blah blah, but whatever. But yeah, I'm not to get too down on LA Noire. I really like it. Really good game. Like everything, like the graphics amazing. Story was like the whole overarching flashback thingy. I did not like that at all. Just like it was very abrupt with the timing of like when it cut in and when it cut out, and then after I got to the end, I kind of realized like, okay, this makes sense now. But I didn't like that, and it kind of messed up the pacing in the story for me with the whole like secondary plot line of like flashbacks and stuff, and like it was all overarching and like interconnecting. But I don't know, just it seemed like it could have been done better, and it wasn't done as good as it wasn't done as well as it could have been. So overall I liked it, and yeah, it was good. I'm also at 15 minutes. I think I'll just like stop it here and be like, all right, after wow, it looks stupid. Or after that, I'll come back with the whole these are the videos I'm making and stuff. So this is the end of part 1. Part 2 coming up after this.